All right.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Now You Know Music with Neela.
And Kristen.
All right, so today we're switching gears. So instead of us talking, we're going to let these two nice looking men take the floor. Don't you dare.
Oh my
All
God.
right, would you guys like to introduce yourselves?
Yeah, for sure. So my name is Chris Chand,
And my name is J.D.N.
and yeah, we're artists from Toronto, some local up and coming artists. Uh, yeah, I'm more of a alternative R&B singer songwriter, a bit more of a multifaceted producer. Jaden.
Yeah, nah, same with me. I'm an R&B artist. Trying to put my pocket into everything, dance hall, hip hop. Whatever it is I can, I can try to accomplish and everything. Trying to just work as we go and everything. But it's just try to work each and every day. But yeah.
Nice. All right, so I'm going to give it over to Kristen to ask some of the questions.
Okay, so as people in within the music industry, well, you guys already have songs released and everything, right? So how do you find it balancing school? Because we're all in the same program, my app.
Yes.
So how do you balance school and your music career at the same time?
You want to take this one first?
Well, for me, I try to, find time for everything. Especially because school it really does it also helps you better your craft, but also it's a learning process and everything. But also on the side, it goes back to it's like hand in hand, because you're doing what you love. So once you're able to just be able to you're doing school and you're getting adjusted more knowledge of everything you're going to on your free time. It's better to to work on some more music and everything. It's kind of hard for me sometimes because I've tried to bounce back and forth, but for the most part, I've been handling it pretty good and everything. Just waiting to see what the next step is and everything.
And I think for me, balancing school and my music stuff, it can be a little tricky. Don't get me wrong, but I think the best tip that I could probably give is probably just getting ahead on your school stuff and handing it in early. That way, you have more time to, work on your music stuff, and because you already know there's gonna be, the overthinking parts of your music and all this, a lot of time-consuming mental stuff. So definitely got to take some time to have that. So I'll definitely get ahead of your schoolwork, for sure. And I think my app, specifically being in my app, definitely helps um, artists like us, just because, when I first got into my app, I couldn't produce, I couldn't play piano, and after going a couple semesters and years through my app, here we are. So shout out you guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, guys. Definitely that tip on getting a head start would have been more helpful for me. So you guys do have music out. Tell me about the creative process in terms of coming up with the music you have now.
All right. So for me, at least personally, I think when I'm making beats, at least, not necessarily even for me, but I think just for anyone that I'm working with, I think it's more of just um, listen to certain songs that fit with their voice and try and find as many references as you can to kind of work off of. I think that really helps a lot. Just being a student and kind of dissecting a lot of pieces of work that you really like are not even necessarily familiar with as well. I think that can also go a long way. Just making you a better artist and a better creator as well. It's almost like learning different languages in a way. You're able to talk to other people and work a lot easier, right? But when it comes to, I think, my music personally, I guess if we're going to go into lyrics, I'd say it's more like venting sessions. Like when I'm upset, I'll just go write in a notebook, and some lyrics and words may stick out to me a bit more than others. So I'll kind of piece them together and start writing the lyrics to those. I may write the lyrics first and then make the music to that, or vice versa. Make the music, see how I'm feeling, and then go into it.
Yeah, I feel like same thing like what Chris said. Just venting and everything. I feel like with my creative process, I just look at how life treats me, and then I just kind of express from that, because I feel like we all could relate to somebody's music and relate to what they're going through, because we normally go through the same thing and everything. And with that, it goes from a creative process from there, you know, from the beats to the lyrics to the flows and everything. Just, you know, trying to, you know, make it, you know, very, very, like, you know, you have the energy there, and like, you know, people could feel, you know, what you're going through and everything. And the creative process, I feel like I just, you know, I just come up with it on the fly, like just trying to, you know, just trying to see, okay, what can I do to be different than like the rest, because a lot of people like to, you know, all want to be artists and everything, and everybody wants to be something. But at the same time, you know, like the bottom is very crowded, and like, you know, you might not get noticed because, you know, you might not be different in your way. So I try to like tap into like, how could I be creative on this song and this song, and like I feel like every beat has a different environment to it and a different thing that you can say to it and everything like that.
And actually, just a little bit more to touch up on what you were saying about being original. I think that's another big thing that people kind of dismiss. I think people are very quick to, and I know I said, you know, try and find references as much as you can, but that doesn't necessarily mean like, you know, rip off the song and, you know, copy the flow and what they're doing. I mean, listen and be a student, but do things in your own way, I think, you know, and don't be afraid to be yourself. I think, you know, people might be, you know, oh, I sound weird, I sound like this. If anything, I think being weird is the new normal, so just keep going with it.
Yeah, like being different is very, you know, very key, honestly.
I love those answers, and especially about the venting process, because I think in a way music's kind of everyone's therapy session in one way or another. Kristen,
Yeah, and like everybody, they create music in their own way. Like some people write down their thoughts. Like I like to do that. I was trying to do that this summer. Like write down my thoughts and like, oh, I can use that in a song eventually and whatnot. You know. So yeah, everybody's
Me
creative
too.
process is different. Have any of you guys performed live yet, outside of school?
Of course.
You go.
Yeah. So I think my first ever performance was it was at a wedding for you know, my family. They just, you know, they told me, you know, sing, but I wasn't really doing any of my original stuff. I was kind of singing other covers and everything, you know, just 'cause like, you know, I wasn't really at where I am right now today. And it went on there to, you know, singing at, you know, my grandma's funeral, to singing in a talent show, to you know, even performing, you know, a lot more. I actually have a performance Sunday, you know, and it's kind of the nostalgia of like just performing. It's like, you know, it's very different. Like, you know, sometimes, you know, you kind of forget that, like, you know, it's just, you're not just an artist. Like, you know, you're an entertainer, and you know, you have to keep yourself and your name, you know, very consistent, you know, because I feel like this the industry as well too. A lot of people, like, if you're not consistent, like, you know, you can die down, and like, you know, and then you'll be put on the shelf, and it's very, you know, it's very cold, but, you know, at the same time, you know, it just means you just got to work harder and you know, perform on the stage too, because, you know, it does really give you a different feeling of, you know, your artistry and like what you say and what you do and everything.
So for me, I know I've probably only performed like 2 or 3 times. I think my first time performing, I was like it was more like personal music stuff. I think I was like maybe 15, 16 years old. But before that, you know, performing with grandparents at like Indian restaurants on Gerard Street. Yeah, I was gonna say I did that from like age 4 to 7 for a bit. Anytime like it was my chance to sing my song, it was, you know, that was my set for like 3 minutes. But yeah, going to when I was like 15, 16 years old. I was mostly playing bass or guitar for artists that were in the Durham college scene, because that's where I was at the time. And yeah, the first show was bad, but people made me feel happy, and they made me feel good about, you know, it's your first try, don't worry. Because long story short, I was playing bass for this guy, and I didn't realize until the end of the set my bass was out of tune the entire time, and I didn't retune it before playing the set. I just kept playing, and I was like, "Oh, this is so cool, you know, this is so cool." And I was just, you know, I was just really. I remember my hands were shaking and cramping on the stage, and I was just like, "Oh, just keep going through the song, and no one's gonna notice that this is happening right now." But yeah, I finished the set and everyone loved it. They said I did a good job, and I was just like, I don't know, did I really? Because I could that doesn't sound like the right note.
But that's the thing though. Like, I feel like as an artist, you're your biggest critic. Like, you definitely, you definitely really like, you're more harder on yourself than other people. But that's what makes you, better, because like, if you're harder on yourself, like everybody's just gonna, they're gonna see more of the progression in what you're doing and the skill traits you have.
And that's true, actually. Ever since then, like, now every single time I play a show, I'm tuning up my guitar, bass, any instrument that's being played has got to be tuned before any word comes out of my mouth on that stage, because of I'm scarred now. But yeah.
Nice. So kind of going on a little bit more about your careers. So you guys would probably say you're getting established in the Toronto music scene. So what is it like navigating this industry, especially during the time that we're in right now?
COVID,
just changing what's popular,
Right. I'll let you take this one. I'm gonna think about my answer.
What was the question again? The question.
Yeah. Honestly.
Navigating the music industry and like your career right now during like COVID, even just how things are running these days with music.
True. Okay.
Yeah.
kind of like what you were saying with like vaccinate. You have to be like
Yeah,
vaccinated. and
yeah,
stuff.
like-
You know, like that
Okay.
stuff, navigating this
Yeah.
time.
Okay.
I feel like in right now, the time we're living in, it's kind of like a weird time. I feel like we, like, as a generation, as we're in a new decade, like I feel like it's very different for like everybody, and I feel like for artists too, like you just gotta, like, I feel like just keep recording, just keep writing, just try to better yourself, because once everything goes back to normal, you're like a whole brand new artist, just writing new music and everything. And I would say just be like update on your catalog, and like just make more music. Like I feel like that's like the only way, like that, just to navigate through the industry, because that's how people are gonna hear you. And then the rest, just everything comes after. And just thinking about it, and just planning, and just plotting on everything, like it really does make a difference, because like you wouldn't want to just go into something you don't even know what you're doing right after this whole pandemic has hit us and everything. But I would say, yeah, just keep writing, keep working on music, whatever you're good at. And then it doesn't even need to be artistry too. Like if it's anything that you love, like you should just just focus on it, and do it, because no one else is gonna do it but yourself. And people, and like and that's another thing, if you don't believe in yourself, no one else is gonna believe in you as well.
No, it's a very good point. I was gonna say, this pandemic really put a pause on, a lot of people's planning, for sure. And I personally think it's a 50-50 kind of situation with COVID and the music business right now, or the industry right now. Positive side, I'd say it's good, because it gives you time to work on yourself as an artist, or as a creator. And I think it's really it's really needed. It's much needed time, because I think without that, we wouldn't really have like a fire lit under us. You know what I mean? I think we'd just be keeping I'll do it later, I'll learn this later, you know what I mean? But I think when the pandemic started, it really kind of like pushed everyone to be like, oh damn, I probably should be doing this right now, because if I don't, then I'll probably be sitting here with my thoughts, which is probably not the best, scenario.
Yeah, no, for sure. For sure.
You gotta keep your mind occupied for the most part. And that's the thing with what J.D.N was saying, like do things that you're familiar with and get better at it, but also pick up things that you don't know how to do. You know what I mean? That's how you get better as an artist. You gotta hop into the unknown and hop on, you got to go into the other side of fear, because on the other side of fear there's a lot of cool and fun things you probably haven't checked out yet. So.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, I feel honestly, I want to touch on what you said. Yeah, like just like like the failure of everything. I feel like everybody, we try to run from it, but like behind failure is like flowers that grow, and that makes you grow into a different person. It makes you, I feel like if we were always winning all the time, you wouldn't understand losing. Like, like LeBron is not the greatest player because he won all the time, because he had to go through hours and hours spent and everything. And I feel like the pandemic was, a pretty good, like, I feel like it was good for, the most part, because it made people, like, realize what Chris was saying, that, you really have to, oh, okay, I have a lot to do. Like, you gotta just keep, working on what you want to, you can work on and everything. Just be locked in at that point.
It really like humbles you and puts things into perspective. It's like,
exactly.
oh, I thought I can do this. Oh, like let's build it up a bit more. You know what I mean? And that's what I was saying. I think that's a big positive that we have, at least with the pandemic. I mean, and don't get me wrong. I think it's really cool too, because I feel like we're well, at least not just us, but a lot of artists and creatives are used to collabing with people all in one room, right? And I think it's really interesting to, like we can collab with someone that's in LA, and we don't necessarily have to meet, but we can send files to each other and still get the work done. You know what I mean? I think that's still it's a cool way to make music, because I think that's the new way. You know what I mean? Right now, at least with the whole pandemic going on. So I don't know, a lot of interesting stuff going on. Of course, it does suck that we're in this pandemic, and some people can't get the studio time they're looking for, this, that, and the fourth. But you know what I mean? I think for the most part, it's a lesson that we can all take away from and kind of better ourselves with. Yeah.
Yes, definitely. Like the pandemic, like, has taught me some stuff too. I'm like, there's some things that
100%. Just like a lot of, even just like not in terms of music, but also like personal growth as a person. A lot of things just put into perspective for you guys.
It's like left and right hooks from Mike Tyson, and you don't know how to fight.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, and what you said about like your first performance where you're like playing bass and you're like all nervous, like that was me. Like
me at piano recitals, I still get nervous to this day. I like my knees lock, my hands shake. I'm just like
4 years ago.
I'm like, get me out of here before I pass out on stage,
like,
please.
My body's like this. I'm like, now I'm more.
Everything is locked, but your fingers are still moving somehow and playing the song.
Even if they're playing like all the wrong chords and you're like butchering canon, it's fine.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. So what are your guys' plans for the future as your music career?
Yes.
Yes.
The age-old question.
Wait, you want to go first, or
You could go first.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So for me, what I've planned in at least the near future, I'm not gonna get too ahead of myself and bite the bullet or shoot myself in the foot. But I think in the near future, I do have a project coming out soon that's been sitting around for like 2 years. So you guys can finally get to hear that soon and figure out, what my mind sounds like for the most part. This is the first time. Actually, I'm pretty sure, all of these beats that that are on the project, I've produced myself. And it's actually, again, shout out to my app, because if it wasn't for my app, I don't think any of these songs would have been created, because I don't think I would have went out of my way to make these songs like that. And especially because of the pandemic, right? It really lit a fire under me. So I was like, all right, well, I don't have anything else to do in this basement, so I'm just going to work on this stuff. And I know, right? I know, right? Yeah.
It may be like 2 o'clock, but I'm still waking up.
No, that's all good. You got this. I was going to say, I think... I was gonna say definitely got some projects coming out in the near future. Also, not even just music, just gonna be dipping into fashion, movies, short films, and stuff like. I've got some stuff in the works. Stay tuned. Your boy works in silence is the problem. That's what I do. I work in silence, and then I spring it on to you at the last minute. So tune in soon.
Nah, but I feel like your silence is like kind of one of the best things. I like being in the silence, because like I don't really like telling people every single thing, because like either I think like the first impression is like everything. So like even just like working and not boasting until or getting too giddy too early, because you never really know what might happen. But in terms for me, I have a song dropping think next Friday. Feature upcoming artist. His name's Blacks Mula. He's very sick, man. But in the near future, I hope to, I have another video coming out. Trying to working on a new project, like a whole tape, different vibes, just trying to, elevate and, try to better myself as a person, not just with the artistry, but, just myself too. Because I feel like that would go a long way as well, in the longevity and everything like that. But for the most part, just, taking it day by day, but also, planning ahead because, you don't want to think about the future so much and in the past, a lot, because, the present and the moment, this is a gift. Like, so, you really just want to be in the moment and just try to, figure out what you need to do and plan out your plan. But yeah, for me, I just say like, yeah, I'm just working on a lot of projects, just working on more music, just writing more, just working every day. So.
And I was gonna say, a quick thing I just wanted to touch up on what you said about being in the moment. I think that's a good. I think that's a big thing that people overlook is being in the moment, and that time is a valuable thing. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that it's bad to, kind of say like, oh, I'm gonna be doing this in 5-10 years. You know what I mean? I think it's better to manifest rather than kind of shooting yourself in the foot earlier. I think it's like, you know what? I'm going to be doing this in the future. I don't know when, but I'm going to be doing it. You know what I mean? And I think that's a little bit better than you kind of setting this expectation upon yourself to go get it. And if you don't hit it, then, it's kind of like a mental roller coaster you have to go through that you don't really have to put yourself in, I think. And I think, just appreciating the time that you're in right now in the present is a lot easier. And I think you're a lot more grateful for just taking in like the thing, like I'm sitting in this chair right now with some of my classmates. You know what I mean? Like, I think this is a cool thing. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
I was, yeah.
I would have never knew I would be in a podcast or anything. That's why I just
gotta live in the moment. You gotta live in the moment. Yeah.
Like, just manifest.
I was gonna be at home just working on beats. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean? So. It's cool. You gotta take.
I would have been sleeping. Honestly, I would have woke up just now. But
at least you're honest. At least you're honest. At least you're honest.
But,
at least you're honest.
It gotta be.
Even I didn't think this podcast was gonna happen. This is just an assignment, but I might start doing more stuff like this in the future. Who knows?
I don't know if I would. I don't know. I'm not a on-camera person.
I think I am.
That's personally for me. But
I don't know. I've always done like performance stuff, just like theater, like recitals. So I think like I like performance, but I also like not like music performance like how I used to do it, like or like what we're doing now, like something different. I don't know. Yeah. My tastes are forever expanding.
I like the process. I like learning. I like learning about like the process of the art. Don't get me wrong. I like listening to the artist's music and stuff. But it's like, how did you do that though? Like where did you get and that's what I love about music. It just I was gonna say I didn't hit my bad. And I was gonna say that's the thing with music. That's what I love about it. It literally just starts off as a thought in your head. And then to have literally a piece of something that you can listen to is absolutely insane. If you really think about it, like if you find your favorite song, started off in someone's head and probably could have 50% chance that it might not have been a song, I know. Things like that. You got to appreciate, you know what I mean? Little things like that.
So who are your guys' favorite artists?
Yes.
It is always changing. Like I have like a new favorite art. Like I have a new favorite artist every week, or like someone that I'm listening to constantly. I think right now it's D.J.N. He just dropped this album. I forget what it's called, but he dropped it not too long ago. Every song, production, go listen to it. Let's just go to D.J.N's Spotify and look at his latest album. I don't know what it's called, but if you need influence or some kind, just listen to it. That's my artist right now, I'd say. But if we're going for like top influences of all time, I'm definitely putting Michael Jackson up there. The Beatles. I gotta put the Beatles up there. Childish Gambino actually would be up there for sure. Brent Faiyaz, Omar Apollo, Jameson. A lot of, and Steve Lacy. Like a lot of the alternative side meeting with sad boy R&B, but also like, I don't care about you R&B. Like you know what I mean? Like it's a mix. It's like it's a bunch of alternative rock, alternative R&B. It's just a bunch of things and that's what I describe my music as. It's a bunch of things that I listen to that I've translated into my own world or my own way, I think, you know, like, yeah, I can rip off the Beatles harmonies, but when it comes out of my mouth, it sounds completely different. You know what I mean? So I think I think that's a big thing. And yeah, those are my favorite artists and influences.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I like. It's so. The question like that, it's so like hard to like, cause like you know, I gravitate from like a lot of artists. Like, you know, I would say for my favorite, like the people that inspired me would be like, you know, Michael Jackson, you know, Chris Brown, you know, even Luther Vandross, Michael Bublé, like a lot, like all of those guys, New Edition, you know, like, you know, it's a lot of people, honestly, you know, and it's. But those guys, you know, they kind of give you like, you know, the feel of like that pocket of R&B and, you know, where it originated from. But right now, like, I would say like, you know, just my music in general and just, you know, just like a lot of people. Also, yeah, Tory Lanez too. That just dropped that new '80s project. I don't know.
Yeah, that sounds so different.
Yeah,
man.
like
I like it. Good different. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Good different. You know, Silk Sonic too. Yeah, like.
Oh damn.
You know, yeah.
Yo, it's like what Matt Knudsen said. That project makes me feel like I got two families and I'm wearing like a nice corduroy jacket in the '70s. You know what I mean? I'm cruising down. That's what it makes you feel like specifically.
Right.
No, just the entire album.
Right, like, you know, it's just like, you know, gravitating from every artist. Like, you know, I feel like everybody has something different, you know, a different environment to them, you know, and I like just like, you know, grasping not just one, but like, you know, a lot of people's, you know, type of experiences through their, you know, their struggle or, you know, their story and, you know, through their music as well. And, you know, that's what I enjoy most about the music, you know, is that, you know, it like, if anything doesn't bring us together, it's music, you know. I like think about it. Like if we had no music, this would be such a boring world, boring ass.
Yo,
world.
literally
like,
be depressed as
it'll be
hell. If I wasn't,
depressed,
if I wasn't already depressed, then like, oh man, like this, this.
When you're traveling, like,
you know
how like when you're on listening to your music, like.
And you know, some days when you're not listening to music in your car, and you're like, damn, this is really boring. Like, you know what I mean? I'm just listening to the wind out my window. No, I've done that before. I've pulled over to the side because like my Bluetooth is disconnected, and I'm just like, no, this is not happening. Like, I need music. I need a soundtrack to my life. That's what it is. Like, I have music 24/7, and it's just like anything I listen to is the soundtrack to my life. Is essentially. Speaking of soundtrack to my life, I was gonna say, I forgot to mention Stevie Wonder. That's a big influence of mine. And the reason as to why is not only because he makes great music, but it's because he's blind and all he is doing is making music based off of feeling. You know what I mean? That's the thing. He's making it off of what he feels, and that's so beautiful. I think that's, I don't know. He's like blind, and he's
Charles both are just
you know what I mean? It's just like. That just goes to, I don't know, I think that feeling that we get from listening to that music is the feeling that I want to give to someone from my music of like, damn, how did he make that? You know, what was the process? And like, yeah, I just want you to get into your head. Not in a bad way, but yeah, I just want you to, just do some thinking. About yourself or anything going on in your life. Just think. Not any negative thoughts though.
Make you realize, like, you know, stuff that you would never really think about in your ordinary day. That's what I like to write about a lot. Like, you know, just tell people, okay, this is how it is, you know, and like, because I feel like no one's directing the youth, especially some of these mainstream artists, you know. I feel like they're just, you know, they're projecting an image of like, you know, just, I need to be like this person, I need to be like that person. But like realistically, it's like a comparison's the thief of joy. Like, you know, you never enjoy what you have.
Great reference, by the way.
You never enjoy what you have if you're always comparing yourself to the next person beside you and everything. You know, you just gotta be yourself.
I love that Thief of Joy reference, by the way.
Stream it now. Thief of Joy.
Thief of Joy by J.D.N. out now everywhere. I have it on my playlist.
Honestly, the whole comparing yourself thing, like that's me. Like, I listen to other singers and I'm like constantly comparing myself to them, but I'm trying to break myself out of that. It's just that when you're an artist, your music is so personal and like you're putting yourself out there. So, you know, it's like it's scary.
I think that's why I find it hard going into music, because like I grew up having a hard time being vulnerable because like being vulnerable and letting those emotions come out, it's scary. So like you kind of put yourself in someone else. You kind of put yourself as like someone else because you don't want people to see like the ugly. Because people see the good and the bad, but the ugly is like where all the beautiful things come from, I think.
I just want to touch up on this. I wanted to touch up on that for a second. I think, and good point though. I think you know, artists our creatives are always their worst critic. But I think, and it's something that I've kind of leaned closer to now. But before, and I would do the same. I would sing my lyrics as if somebody else was singing them because I was scared to show people. Because I'm always that, like, you know, smiley, happy-go-lucky Chris, right? So I think I was a little nervous to show people, like, oh, this is what I'm like when I'm sad. This is what I'm like when I'm angry and when I'm depressed. So, like, it was a little tricky to let that out. But I think when I started to do that more, I was like, yeah, this feels right. You know what I mean? Like, who cares what, like, everyone deals with these emotions, right? And I think me, you know, honing in on those emotions and dealing with them, I think that's making me, I'm growing as an artist and as a person as well, right? I think it's a 2-for-1 special there. But yeah, I definitely think that's, being vulnerable and just choosing to be, just showing your emotional side. I think it really does go a long way because not everyone is this, you know, same, you know, there's something going on behind that smile for the most part, I think. So, and yeah, it also just, it brings you closer to your listeners as well, because it's just like, damn, I went through this breakup with someone too. So it's like, you know, you talking about these specific feelings is, you know, evoking these emotions out of the people, right? So I think, you know, just keep going with that. And like I said, don't be afraid to be weird. You know what I mean? If you being emotional is weird, then be weird. You know what I mean? Then you know, I think too many people are just focused on sounding like the biggest artist right now, and it's just not even like, it's no originality at this point. It's just little this, little that, and I'm just like, it's very overrated. Like,
Yeah, no, and that's what I'm saying. Like we all have emotions. Like some people like to hide it, like they're robots, like they're always fine. Like, you know, like I get you, you know, you keep to yourself and everything, but no one's gonna judge you if, you know, you go through something, 'cause, you know, like, you know, you make, you know, your pain, you know, it could turn to champagne, you know, one day.
facts, yeah. Yeah, no, literally.
Shout out NF portion.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
That's a bar. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Nah.
No, but that's the thing, though. Like what you were saying, like it's just like, yo, don't be afraid to cry. And and this is a big thing with guys. You know what I mean? And now I'm gonna say this: like, you don't have to be the macho man 24/7. You know what I mean? It's okay to cry. It's okay to vent in your notebook. And you know what I mean? It's okay to be vulnerable and emotional. You know, I don't know why people are so, you know, so quick to hide behind that. And I think, you know, put up a front. You know what I mean? I think that's the thing. The more I think, more closer you get with yourself, I think the more, you know, the more you are acceptable with at least, you know, loving life, I think, for the most part. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
just try not to care as much. You know what I mean? Just let it out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Do stuff you love, like.
Literally, dog.
Yeah.
Like, there's literally, like, what's the harm in crying and letting your emotions out, dog? Nothing. That's what.
Right?
This is promoting all that toxic masculinity. Yeah.
Toxic mask.
It is. We're straight away from music. But this does play a part of music, so,
Yeah.
you know. I'll pass it.
Yeah, because when I listen
it's
to
getting
music,
deep and I love it.
yeah, like it has to, like, I want it to relate, you know, something I can relate to. And that's like for me as well. When I make music too, I want people to be able to relate. I'd be like, oh yeah, okay, like I felt that, like I know how you feel. I'm going through that right now. Like, you know, that's the purpose of like my music. I want it to be really.
Oh yeah,
relatable.
I have this like one song that when it came out, it was like it came out during a time where I was going through the exact same thing that he's singing about, and I'm like, this is the first person to like truly understand like what I've been through, and I think like that's what people love to see in music. Is like that's me in my life right now.
Right, like they capture the feeling, the lyrics, and like they captured everything that you felt like you went through the experience. And I think that's like that is another thing that is what I love about music. It doesn't necessarily have to be about the lyrics itself. Like I'll literally listen to like the Beatles instrumentals by themselves, just listening to like string sections, and I'll start tearing up because it just literally just evokes certain feelings out of it. And then that, not just the Beatles, but I think with certain artists that we gravitate towards too. I think there's and not even just people that we gravitate towards too. I think it's just music in general. It's just certain things about music that just hit us differently, and you just don't have any choice but to feel and cry. And it's not like it's a bad thing, like I'm crying because I'm sad. It's just like, yo, the song is so damn good, like I'm shedding a tear type beat. You know what I mean? Like, so, music's a great thing.
But I'm thoroughly enjoying this because even in our first podcast, like we talked, but I think why we had you guys on here is A, it adds some perspective, and B, with you guys, we're going deeper than like we were able to before. So I really like it. It's like because like there's always more to this industry and to music that like meets the eye, and like having someone else like going deep in it with you guys, it's really good.
No, I was just gonna say like I don't think I've really talked about a lot of this stuff with anyone in my app, to be honest. Like, letting in on the whole, process and getting deep into, just the mental health vibes and, all that. You know what I mean? I think, I feel like we probably don't say much. And, like, here we are. I'm talking about putting on a front and whatnot. But, yeah, you know what I mean? I'm talking about putting on a... No, but, for example, if you go on my Instagrams, like, on my Instagram posts, you'll see me making beats and stuff. And I look just not with it. Like, I just look like I'm just there for the music and that's it. But, no, I don't think anyone's seen this Chris Chan before. You know what I mean? Unless you see me in person. You know what I mean? People think I'm like grumpy and stuff like that. No, I'm like a little teddy bear, bro. Like I'm literally a teddy bear, bro.
You were like chill, or like vibing and like jamming out when we first met, because you.
Well, okay, well, yeah, depending on who you are. Like, I have, like, this, like, resting face that, we got that, I got that resting bee face, and, it's just the face. I'm really a sweetheart. Like, I'm just, I'm really.
What's funny is I have resting smiling face, and, like, people always tell me, like, why are you so happy? I'm like, this is just how I am.
So what do you guys feel about, like, fame?
Oh.
Becoming famous.
Yeah, let's get into the other side of that.
Being in the spotlight, eyes all on you.
Yes. Attention from the other gender.
If you want me to be honest,
be straight up.
If you want me to be honest with you, I don't really care about the fame. I don't feel like that's what I wanted to do music for. I didn't, I don't feel like that's why I wanted to put myself into that type of environment. It was just because, I know that I could, with that type of fame, that, I could do greater for my people and invest in my people, and make bigger plans and give other people a better life, even my kids' life, like. I feel like, because life is hard. Like, there's some people that are, they're still trying to get it through. Like, and they're still 54 and they're still struggling, just trying to pay the rent and everything, trying to even help their, their kids and everything. And I know how that feels like. And I just, I feel like the fame just comes with it. But also, I feel like, I could provide a message, to the youth, and give them a better direction and a path to go through, because at the end of the day, we are all like motivational speakers too, through our music and when we're, doing podcasts or anything. And like also too, like, I feel like life itself, there's just a deeper meaning to everything, and I feel like nobody thinks about it because we never, it's good to have talks like this, it's good to, gain more knowledge every day because like, you really learn more. But in terms of the fame, there's a lot that comes with it, and stuff that the good, the bad, the ugly, and like a lot of fake stuff in the industry, and I feel like you can't really, as an artist, I feel like every artist deserves to know that, because Like we, like, you know, like you work, you know, you spend hours in your room or wherever it is that you do music, and you know you're just hoping and hoping, you know, you're sacrificing everything and risking everything to make sure that this is really it, you know. I My parents would have never told me, oh, Jaden, go make music,
Facts.
go do music.
Facts.
They wanted me to be a doctor or a lawyer and everything, but I felt like if I was doing that, then I was just living a life for them and not for myself. So I couldn't really just, you know, go into just, you know, cool, like, you know, it's good to be a doctor or a lawyer, I'm not saying that, but, you know, also, you know, just, you know, do what you feel like is right to yourself, you know, because it's your life now. And with the fame and everything, like, you just, you know, you're just gonna have to go through, you know, the good, the bad, and ugly, like, you know, how Kristen said and everything. So yeah, like, there's nothing you really can do, like, you know, to stop it from happening, because like that's kind of like, you know, what you need to do in order for you to, you know, be able to be successful.
It's like
in this
inevitable.
business.
It's inevitable. Yeah,
Yeah,
you know it's
yeah,
gonna
just-
happen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it just comes with it. So you can't really, like, you know, you can't really dodge it, or, you know, try. You could be low key about what you're doing but still be famous. But
Facts.
you know, at the same point, you're gonna be walking outside your apartment building, people trying to take pictures of you, people always
Mhm.
wanting to take, you know, get pictures with you, trying to sign autographs. Like, you know, you never really have time to yourself anymore.
Mhm.
You know, and you feel like your privacy is just out in the open now. So, you know, that's what comes with the fame. So.
Right, right. Oh, well, okay. I'm gonna need you guys to repeat the question for me because that was that was a really good answer.
Alright, so your take on the fame and becoming more and more famous and more well known as your career evolves and grows globally, so to speak.
Okay. Okay, so I personally I've thought about this before because who like I feel like everyone that makes music eventually has the thought of like, oh my bad. Eventually has the thought of like, oh, like, you know, what if this song takes off? What if I take off? You know, I think personally, I feel like I'd be lying if I said I wouldn't like the fame at first. You know, everyone recognizing the work I've done, and you know, just all of all of the hard work and blood, sweat, and tears I put in. So I'd be lying if I said I wouldn't appreciate that and I wouldn't like that at first. But the person I am, I'm very anxious and very like introvert. I'm very introverted and can be very extroverted at times, right? And I feel like a majority of the time I find myself being anxious about like, whoa, there's a lot of people. It's gotta, you know, you gotta calm down and relax. Like I feel like I'd be the kind of artist that like really just stays like a Frank Ocean. I just drop when I feel like it, and if you like it, you like. Well, that's the thing. If you're a listener, you'll like it, and you listen to it for the most part. Not necessarily you'll like it, but you listen to it. And for me, my biggest thing is not to be like a Drake or like a Kanye West. My thing is, like before I made music, I wanted to be a music therapist. So I wanted to or play you music for like when you were dying or when you were sick, so like you can feel better, and I can make you not feel as crappy as you did at that time, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, for me, I realized, like, you know, I don't need to necessarily go into music therapist to make someone feel good. I can just make music. You know what I mean? And I think that's when I started to, you know, release my own songs and, you know, kind of throw in my own experiences. And I'm like, you know what? I don't have to be famous just off clout and this, that, and the fourth. I don't even necessarily even have to be famous. I want people to genuinely actually relate to the content in the song, and I want you to, that's the thing, I don't want you to like look at me as if I'm like this god, like how people look at Drake. I want you to, like, you know what I mean, I want to be on equal terms with people, you know what I mean, I want to be on equal terms, like, yeah, I make music that you like, and yeah, like I make a certain X amount of money, but that doesn't mean anything, you know what I mean, we're still people at the end of the day. I just make you music, you know what I mean, and I make you feel better. That's really it. It's just like a give and take. You listen to the music that I've been working hard on and you appreciate it. And for me, it fuels me up by like, okay, like I made someone feel better. I made someone's day. Like, let's keep going. You know what I mean? I think that really plays a part into what at least I want to do in the future. Not, like I said, not necessarily being like a Drake or a Kanye or the biggest artist. You know, I think just branching out. And for me, I'm going to be branching out into different, you know, avenues like music, photography, and all these different things, right? So not necessarily putting myself in one box, right? So I think, yeah, that's pretty much it. I've gone on a little long over there.
No, yeah, no, totally.
No, it's definitely good because like even like me, I'm somebody who gets I'm like you. I'm that same flow where like I get anxious. Even being in school, I get anxious if I'm just doing like working with somebody in ensemble and like I have to sing because I'm just like I always get anxious. So like I think for me like that's why I wouldn't want to perform as much because I still get that anxiety. Even as like the three of us in the room, I'd probably still be really anxious.
And that's the thing I find though. Like, I'm more anxious. Like if I'm singing in front of you guys right now, I'd be more anxious than singing on a stage. You know what I mean? I'd rather be on a stage singing. I don't know what happens when I have a mic and I'm on a stage. There's just this switch that happens inside me. Like I can control everything that's happening right now. You know what I mean? I have the stage control. I could walk over here. People are gonna look over me when I walk this way. When I go that way, people are gonna look this way. And like when I tell you to clap your hands, you clap your hands. You know what I mean? Just little things like that just get me so fired up and just like I don't even care if I mess up how I sing. Like, you know what? Like, you'll still be into it. And I don't even care if you're into it. I'm on the stage and I'm singing, right? So your attention's on me regardless. And I don't know. I think it's just like, I think there's just something happens when, like, for example, when we were at Transac and I had to sing songs in front of all these people, and I was nervous at first, looking from the change room outside. I'm like, wow, that's a lot of people. You know what I mean? Mm. But then when I got on the stage, I'm like, oh, I was like, oh, you got nothing to worry about. This is going to be fun. You know what I mean? So I'm just like, yo, let's get people into this. Like, I'm going to get people more excited than I am to be on the stage. You know what I mean? I think that's the biggest thing. You have to like, and that's the big thing that I realized when I was younger. My grandma told me, when you're on the stage and you're playing your music, no one for the most part, people in the audience don't know what you're doing. So even if you mess up, they don't know you messed up. Keep going. You know what I mean? And I think that's a big thing that I realized, that like, just have fun on stage. You know what I mean? Even if you mess up and you still keep going, it's still a lot more respect than like, oh, what was the next line? You know what I mean? I think at that point it's just like, oh, damn, like that's, I think it's a better look if you just keep going and have fun. Even if you look like an idiot, just keep going. Look at the music industry. I was gonna say, look at the literally. But I was gonna say, look at the music industry now. It's just filled with a bunch of clowns, and we listen to it nonstop. And you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, we listen to it nonstop, and like that's what I was saying before. Like, we listen to this, little that. Don't get me wrong, I listen to it too. But like, damn, everything's got a limit. Everything's got a limit.
Damn, just call me on listening to Little Nas X.
Yeah, he's fine. Lil Nas X is fine.
That is true.
He's doing stuff differently and creatively. Let him do it.
Yeah.
Creativity there. That's wild. No, and that's the thing. I was gonna say, no one has the guts to do that. Like, literally, like rap music's been around. Like, I mean, not even rap music. Just, I think the style of rap that Lil Nas is doing, I feel like it's been around maybe like the last 5-10 years, but no one's making the kind of music videos that he's making. You know what I mean? They're very controversial, and like once you see it, it's the talk of the town. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. You can't not, and that's the thing. You can either like it or you don't like it, but either way, you'll have an opinion on it, and that's so smart. The guy, it's so creatively well done. Like, he'll have you talking about his name 100%.
Yeah, because as an artist, you need to like stay relevant, So,
And I think that's the thing. It's like, what's different now is that people are taking more risks and going more outside the box, like he said. Like, they're diving into different things, which is why they're standing out.
Different genres too, like.
Would I be doing what he did? No, I was gonna say, would I be doing what he did in the music video? No, not my vibe, and that's not 100%. Kudos to you and what you did in the music video.
All I'm gonna say is that you don't see somebody
doing
that. Doing like being pregnant for like whole hour long with an album cover in his belly. That's so smart.
And, like, that's so smart and funny.
Like,
that's funny.
Yeah, I'm like, wait, what? I'm like, yo, this. I'm like, how is that even? You know?
Yeah, like you do you. You do you. Yeah, you do.
If we're getting to the concept of that, there's.
You do you.
If we're getting to the concept of that, that's something different. But definitely, like, I'm trying to think of like somebody else. Okay. I'm going to bring up this because this is really cool. After Hours, The Weeknd, like, if everyone saw, he was doing he does something also very controversial. Like, he started doing, like, promos with, like, bandages on his face.
And then after he took the bandages off and he had, like, all the plastic surgery. I'm like,
I was a little bit shocked, but I'm like, okay, I see where you're going with this. And I think that's what also, like, drew people in. It's like the album itself was really good, but like the way he did it was like different, and like in a way it was I also think it's kind of like a clickbait, like, oh, he's saying plastic surgery, like what's this gonna be about, and then boom, it's something completely different. You're like, oh wow. Yeah. I'm really enjoying this so far, just getting to know.
It's pretty fun, I cannot lie.
Honestly, this program is really helping me grow as an artist. Like, I've learned
100%.
so much.
I was gonna say, I forgot what I was. Yeah, no, actually, no. Yeah, when I first started my app, I was nervous, and I was like, oh, what are these people gonna think of me when I sing?
Yeah.
And all these little thoughts in my head. But no, you guys are cool.
Yeah,
I
because
like
you remember first semester in Jesse's class where we had to do like a performance.
Were you singing
and
from the
had to come
class?
back?
Yeah.
I remember that. I was like,
Oh man,
nervous.
that was bad.
And there was like,
That was bad.
and there was
Yo,
like
the
a
class
bunch
lied to
more.
me,
There was like a
bro.
lot more people first semester. So I was like, oh my god.
I'm gonna get into this. Yeah, class lied to me during that performance. Okay, so long story short, Matt and I performing, and we're singing. Well, I'm singing "Neon" by John Mayer. Matt's playing it, and as we're playing the song, I realized, oh, we're a little off. You know what I mean? And like, it's not sounding too hot. You know what I mean? And at the end of the song, everyone's just like clapping, and everyone's like, "Oh, that was perfect." I was like, "Yo, did you hear what I just heard? Like no, like you're lying to me. Like this is insane. This is preposterous. It's preposterous, bro. This is illegal."
Like I just assumed it was like nerves or something, because like I assumed it was nerves because like I've heard your other stuff before, so I think like even like me, like I know that when I get nerves, I'm like the worst person in the world. So like, yeah, but I think like it's all about like getting that confidence and like going for it, because like once you got past that, it was like, okay, Chris, go off. Same with you, sir.
Yeah.
No, you went off in class, and you went first, and I was like, I'm effing, because you were alphabetic, so you did alphabetical order. You went, and I was like, I'm done. I can't do this. Like my idea was like horrible too, because it was like a last minute idea that I came up with. So
It's so bad having like your last name being the first name on the list, because then all you is basically is like you set the tone of like the whole environment.
But the
like,
problem was you
whole
set the bar
performance.
too high. Everyone was scared after you, sir.
But that's the thing though. I felt like I don't even know. I kind of completely messed up too, but everybody still loved it. You know, like you're your biggest critic, right?
Everybody was still
Yeah, like
No, literally, as you're singing, we were like, oh my god, those runs, we're done. We can't go next. Jesse,
No.
take us off the list.
I'll let you know one thing. I actually had someone else that was supposed to perform with me while Owen. Well, shout out to Owen. He was a really good pianist. He what's it called? We're accompanied by, and he didn't write his verse or nothing. I was like, what? And then it was like the day of, didn't say anything to me. I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, yo, I'm gonna fail this. So like, I walked in there and I was like, I still gotta like go through it. The show must go on.
Yeah.
So and it's still glad it still went well, and everything came together. But it's just a learning experience. Just also too, just don't. Try to do a lot of stuff yourself. Like, don't rely on anyone, and especially in this type of industry, because a lot of people will take advantage of you.
Ooh, yes they will. Yes they will. Toronto, although we have great talent over here, we have some big snakes. Yeah, no, that's what we'll call them. Interesting people. I've met a lot of people that are, I'll say they're coded differently than how I expected.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Is it like the prototype that goes wrong kind of coding?
No, I don't think so. I don't know. All I can say, long story short, you work with people and you expect, I guess the relationship to go a certain way, and then, tables turn on you. Yeah, it's more expectation versus reality, and then, you work your butt off and make these songs, and then someone takes credit for it, and then gets paid for other stuff that
I've had that.
So I'm gonna say,
so
you know who
many
you are.
It's crazy.
Oh, yo, I'm
crazy.
literally posting this on my Instagram. So yeah, I'm literally posting this on my Instagram.
Yeah,
EP dropping soon.
I've had a no, actually.
Oh?
I've had a lot of people.
I will
or,
send you the
you know,
video
some
for
people,
this 100%.
you know, do it, and sometimes it was kind of crazy that like how it happened. Like, you know, I had, you know, one day I'm working on a song, you know, and like, you know, I came up with everything, you know, and I chose for that person to be on it, and yet for him to go and, you know, act as if like he was the one who started all of this, and then him getting like many streams. It was crazy. It was like, I was like, yo, that could have been me. Like I literally, you know, I wouldn't say I put you on, but like, you know, I gave you that type of, you know, creativity, you know, for you to bounce off of that, and like, you know, you don't really appreciate, you know, the hours and everything that I spent doing into it. Like, don't get it wrong, I am, you know, like as an artist and like, you know, working with other artists, like, you know, like it's, you know, it's amazing because, you know, it's like, you know, like if me and Chris are and we're on a track, like we would be like, you know, it'd be very different. Like, you know, I would like to do exactly.
Yeah.
You know, but some people, they kind of take it out of proportion and try to, you know, they try to use it for their own good, and then right after they don't even like, you know, they don't even go and like keep on pursuing that type of dream. So it was like all for nothing.
That's like the nicer side, man. What people would do with me is they would literally, you know, do the fake smile throughout the whole recording process and still do the whole 9 yards, and then it's just like, yo, you know, come royalty time, right? That's when everyone's barking up my DMs about like, oh, I should be getting this. Oh, I was just gonna say like, yo, if you want to get paid so much, you can write this song and produce it yourself. You know?
Yeah, no.
And that's the thing. Like, yo, I'm a really nice guy, and it really takes a lot to get me to my limit of like, you know what I mean? But like when it comes to my like, you know what I mean? It's like my baby. Like if you mess around, yeah. Long story short. I was saying if you mess around with my, you know, creation, with my baby, you know, it'll definitely set me off, you know, on the wrong side, you know, if you're willing to mess around with that, you know?
No.
Yeah.
And I found a lot that, you know, you just can't be naive. You can't, you know, you gotta be aware, you know. But also it's so crazy because you have to put on a fake smile because like you can't, you know, like you can be honest, like, you know, if you're like, you know, real and everything, like, you know, you go about situations how you go about it, that's cool and all, but you know, when you get into an industry, there's gonna be people that don't even hate your guts, but you're still smiling with them, they're patting you on the shoulder, like, and that shit is just, it's so fake. Like, you know, I had a lot of people like, you know, DM me about the show that you know, I'd be performing, and a lot of people, you know, it's like, you know, never hit me up ever, and then as soon as, you know, they see something good going, it's like, oh yeah, let me go and, yo, this guy knows what he's doing, let me go there and let me try a thing. Like,
I get that 100%, man.
so.
I will tell you right now, I'll post this one too to everyone that's watching this. When I started posting the Lyrical Lemonade post, all I got was support then. But when I was posting all my other beats and stuff like that, it was like, you know, one of those old Western flicks with the thing flying by, empty ghost town.
Yeah.
That's what it's like, you know what I mean? And then all of a sudden, tumbleweeds, that's what it's called.
Yeah,
and then all of a sudden, this Lyrical Lemonade post comes out. Oh man, I've been watching you do your thing for so long. Keep doing your thing. Who are you?
Like the one with like the different colors.
It's a Lyrical Lemonade. So they're a company from, they're an entertainment company from Chicago. You might have seen some of their videos or interviews and stuff like on the Nah, you've definitely seen a Lyrical Lemonade music video or an interview for sure, just not knowing it is.
You'd be surprised how under a rock I live.
Nah, you're all good. Don't worry.
You're all good. After the show was done, that just tells you how the minute was, okay?
Nah, but
I was late to the band.
But it's a real thing when people, you know, like when they see you're making certain moves that they're trying to make, and I think they start hitting you up and just showing that kind of love as like I'm still here in case there's an opportunity for me.
Oh, that brings
And-
up a question.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh,
Okay.
So have you ever had some people who like doubted you or say, oh, you're not talented, you're not gonna make it, and blah blah blah? Have you ever had people like that? Could be family, could be school mates,
School
whatever,
people,
anybody.
could even be like other people that just randomly, you know?
Yeah, a lot of people actually. I think it actually started in high school. And I remember I remember people, and I was very, very introverted then. Like I would have not said, I was that kid that just took laps while classes were going on and stuff. I just really kept to myself for the most part. And I think this started around high school because I was in vocals. And if you were in vocals, you had to be part of the choir.
Oh, all the time.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And I was really nervous because, like, you would have to go sing at Mass. And Mass was in the big cafeteria. Grade 9, 10s, 11, 12s would all have to see you. Yeah, I went to St. Mary's Catholic Secondary School, Pickering, Ontario, Sean Mendesville.
No, this is my school.
No, Sean Mendesville is Pickering. That's what, yeah. So, no, but yeah, I think it started around that because I would see all these, like, jocks and all these bigger guys that would intimidate me. And, like, I would just be like, and I remember people used to make fun of me because I could sing high. You know what I mean? Like, I can sing, and, like, they were like, they call me gay and stuff like that. And I would just, it would really, they would get on my nerves through that. And I think I got self-conscious after time. And I would stop going to class. I would stop going to choir practice. And it really shifted me to thinking like, oh man, I can't do this. People are going to make fun of me, or like people don't like my voice. And then I think around grade 11 or 12, I said, yeah, screw that. That's not the vibe. If anything, these guys listen to my music on repeat and hit me up on their ones low key that, oh, your song's really good. But like, they're the ones that like bullied me type, And I think, it really starts off with that. Like the people that kind of like, kind of not chat on you, but like they kind of put you down for following your dreams. You know what I mean? They end up coming back. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like that's. But now growing up, I realize you're just insecure if you're just gonna like put me down for following my dreams. Like there's clearly something going on with you that you're not happy about. You know what I mean? And yeah, bro. Like, what's the worst that's gonna happen? Like, it's not like you're in a label and you have millions of dollars you're gonna lose. You're in step A right now. You know what I mean? Even if you trying to go make a song, and you don't, and if you don't like succeed with what you're trying to go for, who cares? That's the journey, the trial and error. Like if you messed up, that's a good thing. You're on the right track. You know what I mean? Keep working on that. But and also and that's another thing for anyone that does actually watch this, like don't let anyone like steer you away from like doing things that make you happy. If you want to sing, sing. If you want to dance, dance. Literally do whatever the hell you want. If it makes you happy and creates dopamine in your head, keep doing it. Who cares about any bullies and stuff like that? Bullies are just insecure.
Yeah, but well, I'm not gonna lie. Shout out to my family, but even my mom didn't believe in me. My mom said, one day she said, the chances of you going somewhere is like possible to none, right? And I kind of took that because like they're supposed to be your biggest supporter, right? But at the same time, like, I kind of understand where she's coming from, too. So it's like, all I had to do is just, try to work about it. In terms of everybody else, ain't nobody try to say nothing to me. They're either, I feel like they would never be able to say it to my face, but behind closed doors, I know people be talking. Like if you don't think I don't know, I don't live under a rock. I know that y'all be talking. I know they be watching too because I just know.
That's why I'm posting this.
I know, and that's what I'm saying. And like, that's the thing. Like, I let them keep watching. I just don't. I just try to keep doing what I'm doing. Cause if I believe in myself, ain't nobody's gonna stop me.
Yo, for real.
Right? And like, and that's the thing. They try to take you off of what you try to do. I had even people like cause I go to church too. People at church were telling me don't do music because it's the cause of religion.
Yeah, no, it's the devil's work.
Yeah,
stuff like that. And
it's also the adults telling us, like your parents, they're like, oh, don't pursue music. That's not like a real sustainable career.
Yo,
they want
literally.
us to have like a job that's like financially stable.
9 to 5, yeah, like a 9 to 5. Like, and that's the thing. It's like you were saying, it's risky. You know what I mean? It's risky.
You need to be having like multiple streams of revenue. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
As an artist, we can't just like make music and that's it. We need to be doing more than that and whatnot. But we can be successful.
100%. Like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like,
sure.
you could like look at our teachers and stuff. If you think about it, they're in the music industry right now, but like they're teaching us still. You know what I mean? So there's always ways around it. You don't have to be on the Billboard charts. You know what I mean? And all that fun stuff.
I've had, yeah, I know, and I've had, I had came across some people that said, they say you would never amount to nothing, you ain't shit, like, like, you're poor, all of this, like, I've had a bunch of people just, just try to tear me down, but through it all, I just, I still smile and I still, still be positive because, like, at the end of the day, hate is still recognition, like, it's worse if you're not even looking at it. Like, if you're still looking at it and you're hating, like, you're still supporting me. You're still supporting me, good or bad. Like, and it's if through that, like, I just say, you just gotta, you just gotta go. You just gotta keep, don't let anybody take you off. Let the wheels fall off. Or try to let people, even try to take the wheels off themselves. Like, you just got to keep going because, like, at the end of the day, they're all going to try to put a fake persona on you. And it's kind of crazy how everybody's just, they can't have talks like this, or they can't, they can't, like, they all need to be like this type of image, and they have to be the bigger dog and everything and all of that. So, but at the end of the day, if it's all hard work, the more you accomplish, the more you could, you could talk your shit, honestly.
I will say this though, like when you were mentioning with your family, right? I felt that for a bit, to be honest, because when I was younger, it was more of just because, like, I grew up in a musically oriented family, so I think they knew the risks already. So me trying to get into that game, they're probably worrying about me and probably trying to help me out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
but at the same time, it's like, yo, you tried it out, and it's unfortunate, nothing happened with it, but that doesn't mean that's not gonna happen for me. Like I said, not being famous or anything, but, like, you can get a job in the music industry as a start and keep yourself afloat. That's not impossible. You know what I mean? And I think it started off like, like I would sing and do talent shows and stuff, and like, oh, music's a hobby, and this, that, and the fourth. But I think when my family started realizing, like, people in other countries listen to my music and stuff like that, then they're like, oh, like, he makes music now. And anytime my grandma talks to her, my aunties and stuff like that, they're like, oh yeah, he's making music now. No one's really, like, embarrassed of the fact. And I think it's more of because of the whole clout thing, because let's be honest, if I didn't have that going, would they would have still kept that same energy? I don't know, but actually I feel like I would. My grandma's a sweetheart. But yeah, I for the most part, it started off very rocky, and then, like, when I started showing them, like, hey, I'm telling you, I can do this, you know what I mean? Like and that's the thing, like, I have people in like the rainforest listening, and that's the thing, if it's one stream, doesn't matter to me, it's just that connection's been made, you know what I mean? And that's good enough for me to be like, yo, family, this is what is happening. Doesn't matter. And that's the thing, you can tell me whatever the hell you want to tell me, I'm still taking that risk, and if I mess up, that's a bet that I'll make myself, you know what I mean?
Failure is part of the process.
No,
trial and error, baby.
It really is. And what you were saying about the family stuff, like, they're only doing that because, they actually, they really care.
And they do, yeah.
Like, they worry a lot. Like, the countless times my mom is, she's always stressing because, she always wants the best for me, and I want the best for me too. It's not like, I'm not just, sitting here waiting for something like just come to my front door. But for the most part, like, just, like, be, try to work. Like, that's all it is. That, failure is a part of the process, and like with that, you're just gonna keep elevating. You're gonna learn more along the way. That's how life is. So
yeah, I think I said this, like, in one of our projects during first year, but my dad was like kind of like your family, where it's like he was very chill. He wasn't worried about what I was doing because, or like, he knew like I was gonna do something that wasn't the norm. So he always knew. He and my mom always knew. So I was fine. But other family members, and actually my cousins who are like our age, were probably the biggest worriers in my life, to the point where, like, my cousin, when applications came around, was like, why aren't you applying? And I told him, this may not be for me. I would have been in my up if he didn't push me. I would have literally been in high school still, because I almost failed a class. And, or like, I would have been probably doing like music stuff, depending on like what I chose to do. But he was the one that said, just do it. That's the word you could get. And like, I always knew that, like, my cousins pushed me because they were extremely worried, and even they themselves have had so many failures in life that, like, I think because I'm the baby of the family, they want to protect me. like being the youngest girl and the baby, like the baby. There's a 12-year age gap between me and the cousin who pushed me to audition.
Okay.
And I was gonna say, and don't get me wrong, and that's the thing, I really do appreciate, when families are doing that and they're looking out. But I think to a certain degree, there's got to be a limit, right? Like, yeah, there's gonna be, and I get it where they're coming from. Yeah, there's gonna be people making fun of you, or just being complete, just bad people. Yeah, you know what I mean? People gonna talk, and that's a given, right? And I think your family worries about that. Just like your family worries about you if you haven't eaten. You know what I mean? So like, just you know what I mean? Like, so like if you're in the music industry, there's something bigger and riskier. Look at me. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, my grandma worries about me 24/7. I look like I'm poster child for In the Arms of an Angel. Like,
are you eating, child?
no, and that's the thing, right? If they're worrying about you eating in the day, then of course they're gonna be worried about something as big as the music industry, and it's totally
Yeah,
understandable. But at the
definitely.
same time, as I was saying, it's my own bed to make, right? And I'm there. Like I always say, advice is free, right? You can take it or you don't have to. So anything that my family really gives me on the music industry is really advice, and I don't have to take it. But for the most part, I find myself taking it because they've done pretty well and they're doing their thing. So I just kind of follow in their footsteps, but with a little twist. You know what I mean? It's more modern, I guess.
Honestly, with like my family, because now like one of my cousin acts. I have another cousin. He does like audio engineering. And then I sing, so we're kind of like a art kind of family. And my dad, he can draw and paint and all that. So like they know we're already like
Yeah,
I have
like-
a cousin that's an actor. They know like it's in the
like
family.
even me, like I'm the only one in my family. I'm the first person in my family who's gonna finish like a college program, but also like I'm the only one who did music, and like my brother is like they're on school, but like one brother is doing screenwriting and like posting on YouTube about like all his screenplays, and I'm doing a music program and looking at music business. Whereas like I have a musical family too, but like I have an uncle that like is like a really well known Indian singer. My dad's college friends, and this is for Chris because we listen to music. My dad's college friend was the double player for Jagjit Singh. And I remember him saying that like, no, I was sorry. One of my favorite stories is like how like Jagjit Singh gave him his harmonium when he was in Abu Dhabi.
My grandpa would love that. I'm gonna probably show this to my grandpa just to show him the fact, cause like like that Jagjit Singh is his top 3 for sure. So that's crazy. It's like getting a glove from Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
That's what this guy is.
He's huge. So like I have family friends who are all in the music industry, and I remember one of my friends said I have a friend at Berkeley if I wanted to go to Berkeley for school, and I was like, I don't know what I want to do yet, but thank you.
I actually almost went to Berkeley I almost went to Berkeley. I almost went to Berkeley before my app. But yeah, I was supposed to be in Berkeley. Yeah, I was supposed to be in Berkeley before my app, but I got too overwhelmed because I'm like, yo, this is like Harvard for musicians, and I don't think I could do this. But yeah. I'm thinking of going to Berkeley after my app though, but more online though to get a degree, and like, bro, your boy's going for his doctorate in music. I'm telling you, I'm gonna be Dr. Chris Chan one day.
Period.
This is a video for the future. Future Chris, if you're watching this, you're a doctor now in the music industry.
It is.
Honestly, I am so proud with how today has gone because this is a lot better than I think we were expecting, for sure.
Yeah, I was gonna say this went pretty well. To be honest. It's a fun interview so far. Cannot complain.
Okay, so
On today's episode, you caught up with Chris Chan, and
J.D.N.
that's right. So thank you, Neela.
Yeah, and just have the. I just want to say, also one more thing, just shout out to everybody that's helped me along the journey, along the way. Shout out to
Yeah.
Foreign Wave. Shout out to, all the people there. Shout out to, my friends, that have their home studios. Shout out to my main engineer, official Trey Jordan. Shout out to all of them, man, because, none of this would be possible. I wouldn't even be here today if it wasn't for them and it wasn't for any of them. So, you guys are a key part of the journey. So thank you.
Yeah, I was gonna say if we're doing a shout out, a little part right now, then yeah, might as well. I'm gonna shout out the family for not kicking me out the house for the loud music in the basement yet. Thank you.
Yeah, shout out moms too.
You know what
Shout
I
out-
mean? I'd be
you know, shout
blasting
out
my music at
dad,
4 in
shout
the
out
morning, and my
everybody.
grandma's just chilling. You know what I mean? She has no complaints. She's listening to that 808. She's listening to that 808 and that subwoofer just busting the window open. And yeah, no complaints. But also shout out to my friends. Yo, Nutsin. Yo, shout out to you, man. I'm surprised. I'm surprised
Nutsin.
I'm still here because of Nutsin. Like, I was thinking I was going to drop out in my first year. But shout out Nutsin. Yeah, no, that's also. Oh, wait, my bad. Last one. I'm going to shout out real quick. Rayleigh the Student, Hamlet, James and Dean. This project's going to be fire. And also, shout out to the features on there. I'm not going to let the names out right now because it's a surprise. But thank you to the features that hopped on there. Thank you to anyone that was a part of the project. You made your boy happy and his heart warm. And yeah, y'all get to check that out soon.
Well, I think you have warmed our hearts and made us really happy because this is probably the best project that I've done in my entire life, and I think I might have a new career now in podcasting.
Maybe, yes.
I think so. I think I might have found my calling more than I thought I would. But thank you guys so much.
Yes,
Not
thank
only
you
for
coming on the
just
podcast.
like talking with us, but even just like coming out here with everything going on and like taking the time, especially for. You know, it's been a very crazy year, and we still have a lot more to do. But you
Yep.
guys, thank you so much. This has been awesome.
Yes.
And thank you, Kristen, for coming with me on this podcast journey because I proposed the idea, and Kristen was the first person to say, "Can I join you?" And look at where we are now. Like, this is insane.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you guys for letting me and Jaden be a part of this. This is cool because there's a there's a lot of people in my app. Once you guys DM me, I was like, oh, you guys are sweethearts. Thank you. Yes, I'll be a part of it.
Yeah,
like-
thank you guys for
No,
the
'cause,
podcast,
like,
man.
I will admit I have both your songs on my Spotify playlist, and I've been a fan since first day my app. I may not
Yo.
say it because I'm very anxious about embarrassing myself and making myself a fool.
You're all good.
But
you're all good.
let's just say, Kristen can tell you how many of your songs, you especially, I have on my playlists.
That's amazing.
So yeah,
Wow, that's crazy.
oh shoot, we got 5 minutes to wrap. But thank you guys so much for watching at home. Thank you guys so much for watching Now You Know Music. We will see you guys hopefully soon. Peace out. We love ya.
That camera.